Hey guys, Jessica here. So this is actually a long-awaited video and one that people have been sending me messages about, hoping that I was going to talk about. So today we're going to talk about Medela cups and the BabyBuddha version 2.0. So this is BabyBuddha's latest pump to come out. This is the pump with the new soft stimulation mode and the reduced long pulls on the classic stimulation mode in levels 1 through 3. So previously, and I'm going to link it down below. Previously, I did a video with Allison at New Little Life, and it was part of our breast pump deep dive series. And we looked at the Medela cups with the BabyBuddha version 1 and version 2. And I stand by my original assessment that these cups with the original and the slightly modified version 2 of the BabyBuddha are not safe. Those are going to be your pumps that have the white body and the black screen. The 2.0 has a gray body and a chrome rim. So if you do not have this chrome rim, I really don't recommend this. It not only tests over 400 mmHg on the pressure gauge, it has torn up a lot of pumps and it has torn up a lot of nipples. And I have unfortunately had to be the one to clean up those messes. Are the people out there using that hack and saying that it's great? Absolutely. My thoughts on that would be something is off with their sizing. They don't have good sensation in their nipples, so they may not know what they're actually doing. They may be faking it. A lot of what I'm seeing is on Instagram and TikTok from people where it doesn't appear that they actually are like long-term pumpers. They may literally have filled a cup with milk and taken a photo of it to get a little bit of attention. Not all influencers are ethical. Not all influencers are honest. Not all influencers have a darn clue what they're doing. So they may be giving you very misleading advice. As a professional who is an expert in this pump and is an expert in pumps overall, it's not safe. Version 1 and version 2 of BabyBuddha and the Medela cups do not pair nicely together. They are incredibly, incredibly dangerous, and the potential to accidentally hit a button, end up on that long pull, and pull over 400 mmHg, which can cause almost instantaneous bruising. It can cause vascular damage to the nipple, and it can cause an extended time to need to heal it. We don't have pumps that go to 400 mmHg. I think 360 is about where I've seen it top out, and even that's incredibly strong. People talk about the BabyBuddha being a really strong pump. It tops out at 320. So when you start talking above that, now you've got this disconnect where you already said the BabyBuddha with its original parts was too strong for people, but you want to boost the suction like that is some dangerous territory. But this is not the BabyBuddha version 1 and version 2. This is the 2.0. This is a different pump, different programming, different modes. So let's talk about how these cups can work. My new answer is yes, with extreme caution and understanding what you're doing and understanding there is still a possibility that the same design of this cup that allows that extensive pressure with version 1 and version 2 could put strain on your new 2.0. And if you strain your pump motor and it dies because of your hack, it's not going to be that hard to detect what did it over time as we start to see it, which means it's going to void your warranty. So that is, if you use a hack with BabyBuddha, yes, it doesn't void your warranty, but if you use the hack and it does damage, it does void your warranty. So that is important to know. But the issue here is how deep this reservoir is. The BabyBuddha can pull this membrane. This membrane has the ability to go up high enough that it actually doesn't max out, even with the BabyBuddha and that long extended pull, which means we just get really elevated suction because there's almost no ceiling. With this cup and the new 2.0, the suction is a lot lower. We do max out at about 360 double pumping. I never thought I would say 360 is a reduction in suction and may make it safe. I don't know that it actually makes it safe, but it is lower. However, you've got to understand that what this does is it very quickly elevates the pressure. So when you're using the BabyBuddha parts and you're using the new soft stimulation mode, you're looking at 55 is the setting 1, is level 1. That's 55 mmHg. When you use the Medela cups, you're about 120 to 140 depending on the parts that you're using. If you use the Nini Supply generic parts, you might get a slight reduction in suction closer to that 120. If you're using the Medela parts, it's a little bit higher at about 140. But those parts are not designed for this pump, so they are all a little bit unstable. We see that same thing with the Spectra backflow protectors, but with this, we don't have a way to use alternate parts. So Medela parts, slightly higher suction. Nini Supply, just a little bit lower, but roughly the same. So it takes stimulation mode, you get 120 mmHg as the lowest you can get this pump down. We have a lot of moms who don't actually even pump as high as 120 mmHg. They like about 90 to 110. We have lots of moms who like about 150 to 200, which means you may love this hack on soft stimulation mode on the BabyBuddha, because now you get really fast cycle speeds and you get really good pressure because it's going to quickly elevate it. Where the BabyBuddha parts top out in soft stimulation mode at 130 mmHg, this brings it up to 225. That could work for a lot of people. It could be that combination of really good suction levels and really high speeds for like a dynamite duo. However, on expression level is where we see just how powerful this hack is. On expression level 1, you should be getting about 50 to 70 mmHg on your BabyBuddha parts, and instead you're going to get 188. By the time you get to level 2 using the cups, you're at where the pump would originally be programmed for level 5. By the time you get to level 3 or 4 on this, you've actually maxed out the pump. So you at level 3 and 4 in expression, you could be using as much suction as that pump was designed to pull in expression, period. You very quickly end up at level 7, where it kind of maxes out the suction on the pump and it gets 355 mmHg, which is just more than the pump was actually ever designed to pull. That could put a lot of strain on your motor. You could see that your motor is going to prematurely die. And again, when you use a hack and it causes damage, companies figure out what would happen. They pay people to figure this out, and it will void your warranty. On the long pull on classic simulation mode, I am going to stand by. I don't think anyone should be using the Medela cups on classic simulation mode. Level 1 is the only one where I'm like, there is a possibility you could get away with it, but it still pulls that long pull to 290 mmHg. This pump was redesigned because that long pull was too harsh for a lot of people, and it was not going as high as 290 mmHg on version 2 when there were still complaints about that. So can you use this with it? Yes. On the lower levels, if you're on soft simulation mode, you're probably fine. If you're on expression, I would stay level 1, 2, or 3. I don't know that I would recommend anybody go to classic simulation mode. And if you do, I would definitely not go above level 1. Anything above that, we start pulling into this high range where that high pressure with that extended pull is highly likely to damage your nipple tissue. So can you do this? Yeah, there is room for you to decide to do this, and I support moms' rights to make crazy decisions with pumping, because we all need to do things. And I do have a lot of moms who are like, I really need a fast pump, but I also need strong suction. Those are going to be my moms that have been using like the Spectris Energy Gold. That has the ability to really drive up their pressure needs while needing these really high cycle speeds that we haven't been able to do with a portable. So it's possible that we may use these cups with version 2.0 on soft stimulation mode exclusively to help meet that need. But where I am concerned is that a lot of moms do not pay attention while they're pumping. I see a lot of moms who come in and they're like, oh, I've been having nipple pain. Okay, well, what levels do you pump on? I don't know. I don't actually track that. I just turn it up and go. That means that that mom who then takes this pump with this hack and doesn't necessarily pay as much attention as she should be could end up doing damage to her tissue that may take weeks to heal. If you've ever bruised a lactating nipple, it can take me weeks to get that healed up because you can't rest it. If you rest it, you lose the milk supply, because as soon as we stop stimulating the nipple, our hormones read that as we don't need the milk. So we have to keep pumping, we have to keep nursing, and doing that on a bruised nipple is not pleasant. So this is a hack where I still like, with extreme caution, if you really want to try it and you understand what you're doing and you've got your bra fit dialed in, and you've got your flange fit dialed in, and you have a reason to think that this could offer you what it is that no other hack could, yeah, we can try it, but with extreme caution, because even if we do everything right, we may find that as these membranes wear, my concern is that as the membranes wear, it may actually allow them to move higher, which in most pumps, as parts wear, we're going to see a reduction in suction. But this is a design feature that I don't have anything to compare it to. So my concern is that it actually has the potential to elevate over time. So we may see these issues. It's very, very risky. It's not as risky as these cups with the version 1 and version 2 original BabyBuddhas, but it's still high risk. I don't know that it would be something I would advise the average pumping parent do. If you do want to do this, I definitely recommend working with a skilled pumping expert, IBCLC. Baby Buddha does give you free lactation care with their pump. So you can email their customer service. Right now, I do have a contract with them for that. I don't know that I will always be that person or that I will always be the only person who's doing that. So you need to be working with an expert. Right now, there is that opportunity. If you want to try this, definitely email them and we can work together and we can see how it's working. We can monitor it over time. But if you're not somebody who's going to have the bandwidth to kind of pay that type of attention, I would probably set this one out. There are likely other ways that we can achieve your goals with less risk to you and less need for monitoring long term. So that is my answer on that hack. I know that there's going to be a lot of questions. If you have questions, please post them down below. If you are seeing different things with it, definitely reach out because, maybe we find out that the hack works better than we think it does. We don't know because I actually don't have anybody who has successfully used these cups with the BabyBuddha for more than about 30 days before they run into significant trouble. And like I said, I highly suspect it is that this membrane, as it wears, may actually do the opposite of what we expect, which is the reality of hacks. Hacks are unreliable, hacks are unpredictable. We can get some wonky things going on because Medela did not make these cups for the BabyBuddha. They did not test them with the BabyBuddha. BabyBuddha is not going to do official testing with the Medela cups because it's not their product. They don't have any control over it. Medela could come out tomorrow with a new membrane, and this hack that was working okay for you today, you switch out your parts, and all of a sudden it shreds your nipples because it's a hack, and that's always a risk. So comment down below if you have any questions, if you don't understand, or if you need any assistance with this. But hopefully this helps you decide if you want to give this a try or not. But let me know what your thoughts. Happy pumping.